Hey, yo, welcome to another episode of AutisHim, Black Fathers and Autism. We back once again. I got my brothers here with me, Nick, Lonnie, Trav. Hey, if you tuning into the show, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Also hit that share button as well. Hey, man, it's been a minute since we just all been together by ourselves. We've been interviewing some dope-ass people. And, man, we're going to keep that going. But today is just us. And so we're going to talk about keeping it positive, man. We can be challenging, especially not only with your kids, but it can be challenging with your partners. And so we want to talk about keeping it positive, how we try to find a way to, whether it's exercise, whether it's gardening, whether it's working out, whether it's sports, whatever it is, to keep our mind in a positive space, man, because it can get dark some days, And if especially for myself, like in the beginning, I think I had a lot of dark days where I wasn't really taking care of myself. I was focused on taking care of my family, specifically my son, him being on the spectrum, and not really focusing on the positive. I only saw the negative. So let's get into it, fellas, man. Hey, whoever want to, jump it off and talk about keeping yourself positive. Lonnie, I know you garden, man. Let's get into that, man. So when did you start? Yeah, I know I'm calling you out. So when did you start, doing your gardening thing? When you was out there, your farmer Jack out there, with your overalls on, with your plow doing your thing. So like what got you into that and how long you been doing it?
We moved down here and built this house, and it was important for me. I'm building some apples, right, some fruit trees, and so I got into it just in terms of like this is something I always thought about. You know how you think about something, and I've just found that over the past 6-7 years, it's been great for like my mental health, great for like just stress. It's been great, and it's way cheaper than therapy, if I'm honest with you, and so. I mean, I stayed in a yard killing stuff. I done killed like 3 cherry trees. I done been bit by like fire ants. Fire ants is like the meanest creature ever invented. So it's a fight, it's a battle. I'm back there taking losses, but this has been a good year. Got a great harvest, and I'm making apple pies and cakes and stuff. And so my friends make fun of me, like, when did we turn into old folks gardening? But it's actually been really, really great. And the fun part is with my kids, I get them involved. We go back, they planted some stuff with me. And so for them to like plant cucumbers and go in the house and make pickles. And so all that to say, no matter what it is, you got to have something outside of work, outside of just your family, where you just, get some peace and get into nature. Even if it's taking a walk, it's so important we put them screens down and whatnot. So for me, it's just something that every time I go back there and do it, I feel like the stress go. And so that's been the biggest benefit.
So Lonnie, real quick, I want to stay on this for just 2 minutes because I don't know too many Black folks that, farm or do garden stuff. Like if you talk about older Black folks, like that's in the 60s and 70s, and yes, I'm stereotyping. So my apologies to the older Black community. I don't know too many young people that do that. Let me be clear. So how hard is it to do? And like you said, you destroy some stuff back there. And I think that's my fear because, some of my family, like my in-laws, they garden, you know what I'm saying? Back my grandmother, like my great grandmother used to garden. So like when you're back there and you're doing what you do, like how hard is it? Because I think people of color would love to do it, but I think they're afraid of destroying their land or not, the crops not coming out right. Like how hard is it, I guess?
I will say one thing. I got mad respect for real life farmers, people who grow stuff, because, one year we got the remnants of a hurricane. Everything else on my tree was gone the next day. So a whole season I missed out on harvest because of the weather. So much of it is out of your control, which has been one good part. So, and so much of it is about planning. So much of this year's harvest is contingent upon the fall, contingent upon the spring, me pruning the trees, me cleaning up old stuff, me spraying, and there are just, it's a science. And people who really do it professionally are like scientists. You know what I mean? You got to look at when you harvest, when you don't harvest, pollination schedules, when you spray, what do you spray? And it's humbling to realize people who do this for a living are like, really, really special in terms of just having a certain skill. I don't think that I have a green thumb. And so for me, it's all more of just learning And so that's been the best part for me. I'm a professional student, right? I've been in school forever, and this is a way for me to continue that process of keeping myself busy. And so there are books, a bunch of Facebook groups that I'm in. My wife makes fun of me. I'm in like backyard apple growers and all these gardening groups because you get all kind of tips. But it's really like for me, I've had a lot of loss these past couple years, right? And my baby sister, my baby brother, aunts and uncles, and so for me, I had to busy myself with something. So part of this and being in a yard is also the part of connecting with my family because my uncle who passed away recently, he was a big gardener, and we always had fried green tomatoes from him, and so a lot of it too for me is connecting back with my family. So that's I think it's just something I do to like for peace.
Hey man, that's awesome to hear. I hope everybody that's listening to know that hey, you can get into this, and this could definitely be a stress reliever. Trav, brother, what are some of the things you do to stay positive and stay in a good headspace?
Yeah, no. So one thing about me, a lot of people don't know is I love my family. I love being around them, but I am all for my time. This dad Trav time. I have three things that I love to do by myself that just kind of help me reset, whether it's a long day at work or it's, a long day with my child on the spectrum or even my little one, even sometimes with the wife. You just have days where things just don't stop. So you need to definitely learn to just kind of detach yourself from things and get away. So the first thing I like to do, and this actually involves having the time to do it when I can, but that's going to the gym. I'll drive like 15 minutes to my local gym, work out for about an hour, various workouts. And my thing with that is I'm able to listen to good music. Also just kind of, whether it's lifting weights or doing cardio, I'm able to kind of get all that, stress and anger out and kind of put it towards that, as well as stay healthy. I feel as black men, we have to make sure that we're, maintaining our bodies. We don't have to be, just, Damon off for next Friday. If you know, I'm sorry, that's Friday at the next. Damon off Friday at the next, but we just got to maintain it and keep our temple strong. So I feel that it's important to have a fitness regimen. Even if you can't go to the gym, get some stuff to work out at home, walk around your neighborhood. It's important to keep your health up because, we're seeing an increasing rate of, people dealing with health problems because they're not putting themselves first and they're not keeping their fitness a thing. Like you don't always have to lift weights. You can literally walk. Like there's so many ways. So fitness, that's the first thing I like to do. Second thing I recently just got into, but I like to do it when I have a chance, and that is meditation. So during the pandemic era, excuse me, that's where I seen a lot of depression come about and some anger came about as well. Also during that period, I found out my son was on the spectrum, so just more things kept piling on. But the last few years, I've tried to get into meditation, whether it just be listening to music or sometimes I find things or videos on YouTube where I'll just do a quick 5 to 10 minute session and just kind of release and kind of get into my thoughts. So meditation has been big for me and it helps me definitely stay in a cool mindset. And then the last thing is probably the simplest thing I do, and that's just sitting on my back deck at home. When I purchased the home, became a homeowner, I've had to have a deck to be able to sit outside and enjoy nature. I feel that sometimes just sitting in quiet nature, just listening to the wind, the birds, little stuff like that, it just goes a long way. And with me being a Michigander, obviously we're a state that's big on nature and just enjoying the trees. The area I'm in is big on arbor. So I like to just sit out and just enjoy that. That helps me find peace. So those are some of the things I do. I'm pretty sure I'll find more hobbies as the years go along, but currently that's what kind of keeps me at a steady head.
Hey, that's awesome, man. I'll tell you about nature. I really wasn't a big nature person when I was living in the city. And then when I moved out to Adrian, which is a rural area, my wife is a big nature person. I started doing stuff for her. And now, I'm not going to say I love it, but I like it a little bit more now. So
Mhm.
anyway, that's great, man. That's awesome. Brother Nick, what are some of the things you do to get in the headspace, man, to stay positive and stay the enlightening brother that you are?
First of all, thank you for saying that. I appreciate it. I'm going to be honest. Forever try to work on breath work, breathing. Breathing in the immediacy of a situation. When I feel my blood pressure going up, trying to breathe, trying to teach my son who's on the spectrum the same thing, because the breath work can be done before the situation, during the situation, and after the situation. We tend to, as society and community, we tend to wait till after we do something to then try to breathe. But I'm trying to focus on breathing before and in the middle, because that breath work is important for me to try to maintain a level head. But I think most importantly, one of the things that I do is I meet with y'all. The support group that we have, especially around, trying to deal with a child that's on the spectrum, just having the conversations. And it's not always even about having a child on the spectrum. It's just about being a Black man. It's just about being a man. It could just be about being a father. And the conversation that I have in the community that you all have created with me is extremely grounding. It is extremely peaceful. It allows me to exhale, just like that movie. I don't have to wait to exhale when I'm with y'all. I just exhale and y'all give me the space to be able to do that. I gotta wait until we get a chance to talk. But when you go through life, period, knowing that you can have somebody to call on, somebody to talk to, who has an understanding of a particular space in life that not too many people either understand or want to understand, and you find a community, to me, that is extremely peaceful, because I know, one, that I'm not doing this by myself. Two, I have a safe space to let this stuff go and truly exhale. Three, there is somebody who understands not just being a father with a child on autism, but understands those other conversation pieces: being an African American man, being a husband, being a father without a child on the spectrum, just being a dad, dealing with school systems and dealing with life and dealing with jobs. And so all of these things, for a lot of people, not just me, but for a lot of people, compound. They, one thing on top of the other, on top of the other, on top of the other. And sometimes life can feel like quicksand. You try to move and all you're doing is sinking. So knowing that there's somebody that's not in the quicksand, but understands the quicksand, can give you a stick, they can throw you a rope, they can throw you a lifeline. It allows me to know that regardless of the bull crap that happens to me, or the bull crap that I put out there in the world, because I'm not perfect at all, there's somebody who can say, you know what? I get it. I understand why you did that bull crap. I understand the other side of the coin as well. So having a community, having a safe space somewhere where you as a brother or a father, can go, as a male, can go and just let it go. Just, oof. It allows you to know that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. And as we're talking about, being positive, we're actually really talking about mental health. How can we stay in a great headspace? How, with everything that goes on, research it, whole bunch of people are committing suicide, whether they got money or whether they don't. What comes to mind is the brother Twitch. Now, this dude was on Ellen. This dude was in all of the dance videos. He was in every dance movie for like 4 years. You couldn't see him. He was on the shows and doing his thing. And for this brother to take his life, that's what the reports say anyway, you can only wonder what was going on in his headspace. Did he have a group of brothers like you all around him that gave him the space to say whatever was going on? Not just him or any other brother that decided to, end their life or unalive themselves. I think that's the new term. But I think finding peace for me comes with the community that I have around me. And you three are definitely a part of that community. Having that safe space with you all and that atmosphere that you all have created, not just for me, but for other brothers out there too. So, for those who will see the show, not just fathers, but mothers and grandparents and aunties and uncles, or people on the spectrum, whoever. If you have somebody that you can turn to, talk to about all of these things, that could also help provide you peace the way it provides me peace. So before I say anything, let me just, on the show, thank these brothers for giving me a place of peace to be able to allow me to get whatever's on my chest off my chest. And I'm extremely grateful for it.
You are more than welcome. And I think, I don't want to speak for the brothers, but I think that we echo the same sentiments, man. This podcast, this group, we have found a brotherhood. To be honest with you, I never thought I would find. Of course, when you play sports, when you're a part of a club, if you're a part of a sorority or a frat or, et cetera, you do find that. And I'm not sitting here saying that people that are in those institutions or things don't have kids on the spectrum. But for myself, I'm not in a frat and, I don't play sports anymore because I'm much older. So it's one of those things where I was looking for my tribe, my brotherhood, and I found it. And I'm very thankful. I'm very grateful for you guys, and to be able to, you guys hear a lot of my stuff, a lot of things that, I deal with and vice versa. And I'm more than happy to deal with it with you because I appreciate you guys. And I think the thing I appreciate most about you guys is that I can be vulnerable and I'm not made fun of for it. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's a thing that is fearful when it comes to, and I'm not speaking for all black folks because this ain't all black folks. I'm speaking from my experience. Being vulnerable is a sign of weakness to some people. And when you are vulnerable and you show that sign of weakness, people will take advantage of it. Not all, but some. And the fact that I can do that with you guys, the fact I can do that with other people that's in the group shows it doesn't show weakness, it shows strength. And it shows that you guys are mature and that we go through the same stuff, man. And so I appreciate y'all more than you know. And, I echo the sentiments that Nick says, man. I can't thank y'all enough. So with that being said,
your turn. Your turn.
Yeah, my turn. So
talk to him.
Positive, man. So let me be the first to admit that I am not great at this. Okay. I am not great at being positive. I know this about myself. I understand this about myself. People remind me of this about myself. So I am not great at it. With that being said, I am constantly working on it because life is too short. I was telling the brothers earlier before we even got on the call that my dad was probably one of the most positive human beings that I've ever known in my life. He could be upset about a lot of things in life, but he chose to be positive. And one of the things he used to tell me when I would call him is he would always ask how I was doing. And I'd say, I'm doing good, Daddy. How are you doing? And he would say, I'm doing fine, son. I woke up this morning. He would always say that. I woke up this morning. There's too many people on this planet that didn't wake up. So you got to be thankful and you got to start there. That's the positive thing. You woke up this morning. You see the light of day. And And when I was young, I didn't really understand it. Like I got it, I got the concept of it, but the older I get, the more and more that saying becomes my reality because I am getting older. My body doesn't respond the same way as it used to. When I used to get hurt when I was young, I maybe be out for a couple of days and I was right back at it. Now when I get hurt, I'm out for some weeks. You know what I mean? So, I got to recuperate. I need the icy hot, all that, So I understand what he means now, man. Life is precious. It really is. And I think we kind of get lost and we don't appreciate life enough, man. Like just waking up to be able to see your kids, to see your partner, to be able to see those things, like we gotta wake up and take that in because we can easily wake up with an attitude. And again, I am guilty of this. I am not a person. I'm trying to practice what I preach, right? But I wake up some days and I'm irritated. I'm irritable. I'm like, why is this going on in the house? Or why somebody yelling? Or why this ain't done? Or why is my wife talking to me about something I'm overwhelmed? I don't understand. Like all of these things, right? And I don't wake up enough and I don't say, man, I'm just thankful to be able to see all this, And I have to do a better job of that because it's very, very easy to live in the negative. I know people. I think we all know people on this call that live in the negative. They strive in it. They so negative that everybody they come in contact with has to be on the same energy level that they on. They got to be negative too. They're going to bring you down. Even if you at a high, they'll bring you down. I know people like that. And I try my best to stay away from people like that. Sometimes it's hard because it's your own family. You're like, dang, man, here we go again with this. You sometimes afraid to call them on the phone. Like, I don't want your phone ring. You nope, ignore. Like, I'm good. We all got them. We all got them, man. And so, yes, man, it's very hard to stay in the positive. I am working on it. When I am trying to stay in the positive, some of the things I like to do, I do like to work out. I try to work out as much as I can. I need to do more of it. During the pandemic, I was working out all the time. And kind of post-pandemic, I've slowed down a little bit. I was boxing at one point in time. That was great for my mental health. For anybody that box out there, if you don't box and you have an opportunity to, please do it because I ain't gonna lie to you, man. When you leave that gym, it's like all the punches that you threw, it's like all the negative energy you was holding in just comes out in those punches. And when you leave there, you feel like a completely different person. Like that's how I felt. Like I felt like all the anxiety, all the worries I had just came out on the punching bag. And when I would leave the gym, I would feel amazing. Like, dude, it's like a high almost. It's crazy. So if you have an opportunity to box, please do. I do like nature a little bit more. My wife is a nature person, so she kind of got me involved in nature stuff. And, there's times where I really do enjoy myself. And, I have to say, am I ready to be the camping type where we go camping and we don't have any electricity and all that? Nah, I ain't there yet.
Me neither, bro. Me neither.
But Smokey the Bear.
Yeah, I ain't there yet. Now, if we go glamping, if we got like a cabin with some electricity, and I still got some internet,
that's my speed right there.
We
yes, sir.
We good, but I ain't swimming in no creeks or lakes. I ain't doing all that. Now that's wild. People wild out here swimming in these lakes. I don't know what's going on. They swimming, they bathing in the lakes. I'm like, what you bathing in? They like, I'm bathing in the lake. Oh no, you don't know what's up in there. What you doing? I've had conversations with people about bathing in lakes and creeks. I'm like, so ain't no showers where y'all at? No, it's all nature. I'm like, no, but I'm good. I'm smooth. If ain't no cabin involved with no shower, I'm straight. I'm straight up. Like I'm just like, nah, I can't even do it. They're like, you and the wife and the kids should come out. I said, is there a cabin involved where there's a shower and electricity and Wi-Fi? They're like, no, we just straight camping it. I'm like, no, I'm good. Well, I'm straight. I'll go ahead. Y'all want to bathe in creeks and lakes where there's leeches and tadpoles and all type of stuff up there. I'm smooth. I can't do it, bro. I ain't there. I'll probably never be there. Like, I don't understand that. Like, you just jump in the lake or the creek with soap and you just bathe like it's clean. Like you clean though. You get out like you clean. Like I'm clean. I'm like, nah, y'all crazy. Anyway, we going off topic. So
The show about to be about don't go camping in a minute.
Don't go camping, bro. You can go camping, but I need electricity, bro. I can't do it. But anyway, let me wrap up with my positivity. Hold on. So anyway, I said working out, boxing. Another thing, like meditation is good. I don't do that enough. And when I was doing it, it was really helping me out. Like I really was able to center my body and able to come to a very positive place more often. And if we being honest, y'all, like if you have kids, not even kids on the spectrum, if you just have children, you know how tough it is. Like you just be wanting to choke the mess out of these kids sometimes. Like you like, what is you doing? Like, and you try to sit there and you try to say, did I do this
when
as
I
a
was
kid? Like, did I do this? Was I this wild? Like you reminiscing like, dang, I couldn't have been like this. There's no way, bro. There's gotta be something wrong with my kids. There gotta be. And it's like, no, man, they just being kids. And you know, you sit there and you stare at them and you like, man, like I love these little badass kids. You know what I'm saying? Like you like I love them. They my kids. And you know, and my kids ain't bad. I don't want to make sense because they not. I love my kids. They good kids. But you really try to sit and think about, man, if I wasn't here, what would their life be like? And I don't mean to take a dark turn, but that's what you think about. Because when you're not in that positive space, you have those type of thoughts. Like you're planning almost for your death. And I know I do it a lot where I'm like, man, I got to do this. I got to do that. I got to make sure they this and that instead of just living in the moment. You know, for my fathers out there, for my mothers out there, for my families out there, live in the moment, man. And again, I am not great at this. I want to reiterate that. I'm not great at this, but try to live in the moment more because this world is crazy enough, man. We don't know what's going to happen in the next several months, if you catch my drift. So just try to live in the moment, spend as much time with your kids as much as possible, and make sure that you are going into it with a positive attitude as much as possible. Anybody got anything else they want to say?
Let me say something else. Ty is right when he says he's not good at it. I'm not good at it either. I could be better. This is a journey. It's not a destination. So wherever you are on your positivity journey, whether you're positive and cheery all day long, or whether it takes you a week to get positive, wherever you are on your journey, just try to grow in it. Just try to, like, nobody has all. I am not positive all day, 24 hours. I am not. This is not what happens. That is not who I am. Most people aren't. But wherever you are on your positivity journey, just continue to try to be better than you were yesterday. The only person that you need to impress and improve upon is yourself. But being more positive affects your child, especially when you have a child that may have a diagnosis. They will feed off of that energy. In my experience, and maybe some of the other brothers too, they will feed off of the energy that you give them. So if you're negative more often than not, then that's the energy we're giving to our children. If you're positive more often than not, then that's the energy we're giving to our children. So wherever you are on your journey, I'm not trying to press anything on anybody, but wherever you are in your journey, just know that the energy you give off is the energy that your children pick up, your spouse, if you have a spouse, they pick up, people around you feel that energy. And last but not least, I'm going to add this one tidbit because there is something else that I do that helps me with my peace. I'm moving more into wellness, but my wife and I, we do float tanks and we do salt spas. Now, if you haven't done a float tank, it's either a pod or a room, like 2 feet of water. Like you're not going, like, you know, it's just enough for you to float. and you sit back. It's salted water. It's supposed to be healing and cleansing. For me, it is. So that is a piece. If you want to look into it, find your closest float tank spa, whatever, and try it if that's what you want to do. And salt spas help clean out a lot of stuff that may be in your system. You go in there and go to sleep, and it can be some of the most peaceful atmospheric situations out there. Like, I come out of a salt spa and I'm like really, really calm and zen. And I know people who do sound bowls and healing bowls and Reiki and massages. Like, all of those things can help you. So if that is a part of your lifestyle and it helps, continue that, as a part of your peaceful journey. If not, maybe you can do it once every 6 months and see if it works for you. I don't know. Do what you can to just try to be more positive, because the people that you're around, as I said earlier, feed off of your energy.
Man, y'all better get in that garden in case the other team get elected and they put us back in the fields. Look, they gonna hire me to be a manager. Y'all gonna be stuck. Y'all better get some gardens. Learn how to grow. Learn how to live off the land in case you gotta run to the
Oh my gosh.
Underground Railroad. You might gotta go to Canada. Come on. Learn what mushrooms to eat, what not to eat. You gotta learn. You might be bathing in Great Lakes tide. You gotta come on now.
Hey, bro. Hey, oh my gosh. I love y'all, man. It's crazy. Hey,
I needed that.
Well, look, man, this has been a great episode. We're gonna wrap it up here. This is AutisHim, Black Fathers and Autism, and we out.